Welcome back to r/LegalAdvice, where we read surprisingly interesting stories that usually don't end in a cliffhanger. If you are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe to join our awesome community, and without any further ado, let's dive right in. Nevada crossing the border at Area 51 and the lingering consequences. Will this ever go away? So this is what happened. Earlier in my life I was pretty dumb. After graduation in 2004, me and some friends decided to go to Vegas. On our second to last day in Vegas, my friend decided to visit Area 51. He convinced us all to go to Area 51 with him and visit the border. Trust me, it is not nearly as exciting as it sounds. We drove for what felt like 4,000 miles through the Nevada desert until we came up to two signposts warning us not to take pictures and that deadly force was authorized. We all took pictures of ourselves by the signposts and even started to dance once one of our friends blasted his radio. We started to attract the attention of the camo dudes. It started with one SUV on the hill, then two, and finally three. Some of them got out and were looking at us through their binoculars. One of my friends got the bright idea of snapping a picture of the SUVs with the flash on. This was when my dumbass decided to hop backwards over the line and got everyone else to follow me. At that moment they all got back into their SUVs and we decided to leave as well. Before we could even make it 100 feet, a fourth SUV cut us off and four G-men got out with M4s pointed at us. So now for the consequences, they had us face down in the Nevada desert at gunpoint, with some of us literally having boots on our backs for 2-ish hours until the Lincoln County Sheriff's Depot came out to scoop us up. We were all questioned by sheriff's deputies for about 4 hours, then let go with a $650 ticket, and we had to pay the towing fees and impoundment fees for our vehicles. Almost a week later, we received a letter from the base commander informing each of us by name that we were not allowed in the vicinity of his base again. So since then I cannot fly without having a body cavity search. It takes way too long to get a passport, and every single time I've been stopped by a cop, they want to know about what happened. I'm guessing that a police search of my license brings up this information, but a standard background check does not. When I go to purchase firearms, I actually have to wait for 3 days in Texas when we don't normally have to wait here. Will this ever go away? Can I get this treatment stopped? I mean, the police asking me about what happened has actually gotten me out of 2 speeding tickets before. The cops were kind of disappointed in the story, but still let me off with a warning. But still, this kind of thing is getting old. I try not to fly unless I have to now, as I am tired of the TSA sticking a pen light in my ass. Edit, for those wondering, everyone else who got ticketed that day has had to deal with similar treatment. First comment is this one. You can apply for a TSA redress number. If you are successful, the TSA hassles will decrease. Don't have a solution to the background check problem? Check out the rules on pardons and expungement. Furthermore, someone said, "Thank you for sharing the valuable information that committing actual crimes right in front of people with guns and a sign telling you not to can have really serious consequences." I figured that would be a good learning experience for my 10-year-old, so I told him this story. He says that what you did was pretty dumb and he hopes you learned a valuable lesson and that your hole does not hurt too much. I had to explain what a body cavity was. You know guys, I can understand some people's fascination with Area 51, since I know that a lot of people are fascinated by aliens. And to be honest, even a lot of scientists say that it is not impossible that aliens actually do exist. The question is, what are actual aliens? Maybe we are the aliens ourselves. But then again, I would say it's pretty unlikely that there are real aliens in Area 51. Let me know what you think in the comments. And the next one is an update to the first story. So it has taken the better part of a year, but I have managed to un-F myself with the FEDS. First, I got an FBI NICS UPIN issued. This means no more 3-day waits when purchasing firearms. I can walk right in and buy my AK and 45 minutes later lay hate downrange at paper. The TSA known traveler number is a godsend too. This has stopped the harassment by the TSA completely. Last 5 times I have flown, I did not have to have any special screening. Just ran my bags through the X-ray and wandered. I no longer experienced the sensation of a cold pen and a hot light in my backside. The passport situation actually resolved itself when I got the U-pin. Cannot really explain it, as when I got a new one, it came in the mail 2 weeks later. Normally it would take months for a new one to come in. I have only been stopped once since my last post by the police. They did ask me about my Area 51 story and let me off with a warning. I see this one as a blessing. When they run my background check, they see the trespassing at Groom Lake. They want to know the story and I do not mind telling it. Plus I have spiced it up over and over again when talking with officials and HR when applying for a job that it now sounds incredibly interesting. They take the strange story and let me go with a warning. Mostly posting this as a warning to anyone reading: obey those damn signs and do not F around with the security at Area 51. It will not go well. And guys, who would have thought that it is a really bad idea to try and snoop into one of the most secure areas probably in the entire world. By the way guys, have you ever driven through Nevada? We once drove from California to Las Vegas with a car, and of course we also drove through the desert there, and it was really nice actually. I really enjoyed my time. And the next one is titled, Will I Get My Money Back? I was duped to wire dollars to someone and we think we have found them, but I need my money back ASAP so I can close on a home sale. And no lawyers specialize in this type of thing apparently. USA, Texas, also Louisiana and North Dakota. We are in the final stages of purchasing a home. About 1 week ago I received an email from my mortgage broker with 2 PDFs. A closing disclosure CD outlining final closing costs and a 1-page document from the title company with wiring instructions for us to send them the cash to close. We were expecting to close this Thursday. My wife, realtor and another person in the realtor's office were all CC'd on the email. On Tuesday of this week I received an email that appeared to be from my mortgage broker with another copy of the CD and wiring instructions. The wiring instructions were different, but I did not pick up on it. Of course you can see where this is going. They stated they needed the funds today so that we could close. So I was a dummy and wired the money to this new bank and account, which of course were fraudulent. Someone hacked the original email chain from the week prior and changed the original wiring instructions and then spoofed an email address in the chain and sent the new instructions to me. I have since changed all my passwords and enabled 2-factor authentication on all the relevant accounts and updated security software on all my devices, so at this point I think I'm clean. The hack itself is not 100% relevant, I don't think, however. At closing on Thursday, 2 days later, was when we realized I had been the victim of fraud. We immediately jumped into action. The fraud department at the title company began contacting the bank, a Capital One branch in Louisiana, as well as tracking down the actual account holder. I notified my bank, a bank in North Dakota, and had the wire recalled. We also filed reports with the FBI and the local Texas Sheriff's Office. The title company told us that Capital One had frozen the account holder's account and then they called the account holder. Don't know how the title company got this person's phone number, but apparently they did, and told this person, "This is not your money. Return it by the end of the day or we will have the FBI at your house to arrest you." According to the title company, the account holder did what they were supposed to do. All of this happened between 10 AM and 2 PM this Thursday. The issue is we are trying to close on a house and the money has not been returned to me yet. And we really need it. We don't have enough cash to float the sale while waiting for the dollars to come back. Capital One will only tell me that they are investigating the incident and won't say the status or when I will get the money back. A customer service person said, "Oh yes, it is your money," but still could not say when we would get it back. And of course, this is just a customer service person, not a legal rep from Cap 1, so it is hard to have total confidence the money will come back. Until it is in my account, I'm not going to be 100% sure that they have ruled that I can actually get the dollars back. The amount is around $65,000. I am concerned this deal could fall through. The sellers are also buying at the same time, so this has put their deal on hold. Cap 1 said it takes an average of 10 days for investigations, and that is terrifying. Can I compel them to give me my dollars sooner? By the way, I tried calling some local lawyers and referral services in Texas, Houston Legal Referral and Texas Bar Association, but none of the people they recommended apparently specialize in this type of crime. Consumer banking and fraud type lawyers all said, "I don't do this type of thing," and would not speak to me. I was thinking I would get a lawyer to write one of those "you have X days to return the dollars or else" type letters to Capital One in an emergency, if only to assure the sellers, but I cannot find anyone who does this type of thing. The referral agencies were just guessing when they referred me to people. So first, am I going to get my money back? Someone please reassure me. Second, what can I do to expedite the return so we don't run the risk of the home sale falling apart? Third, if I need a lawyer, what type? Thank you all in advance. Edit to reflect average of 10 days for investigations at the bank. Edit number 2, thank you for all the responses, I'm still looking for advice on finding a lawyer. I've contacted the Texas Bar and a non-profit referral service in Houston, and both sent me to fraud or consumer finance lawyers that would not even talk to me for a consultation because they did not handle this type of thing. Update Monday, no money yet, but we have decided to restructure the mortgage to 5% down, rather than the original 20% down, which has enabled us to set a closing date to purchase the home. We can still afford the 5%, and even though it sucks to be out the PMI, we have a finished deal on Friday. The positives for us were that we would have a significant chunk of cash if/when we do get our money back, and the deal going through minimizes our risk of litigation from the sellers. If we don't get the dollars back, then I will hire a lawyer and look into pursuing restitution from the broker, title company and agent for negligence. And in regards to OP's question about can I push them to give me the money back immediately, should I be worried that I won't get my cash back? Someone answered, no, not especially. And in regards to Capital One, that guy basically said, you have to wait around 10 days. And then OP responded, seems crazy that there's nothing I can do. Super frustrating. Another person commented, this is actually a pretty common scam. What kills me is that the broker or his company are likely to be the compromised party, yet seemingly hold no responsibility. It's not like scammers were sitting on your emails waiting for you to one day purchase a home. And I gotta say guys, this seems like a very clever scam. Have you ever seen such a scam in real life? Or worse, have you ever been scammed in a similar fashion? Let us know in the comments. And the next one is an update to the story from before. Texas, as I noted in my last update on the previous post, I took the liability issue that a user in the comments brought up, and we decided to restructure our mortgage to 5% down rather than the full 20% down. Even if we did not get our money back, the closing would still go through, which would protect us from any legal recourse from the sellers. We closed yesterday and are making moving plans now, so some good has come of this. Our intention at this point is to pursue legal remedy regardless of the outcome of whether or not we get our $60,000+ back or not, which we have not so far by the way. And I am looking for feedback on whether this is a good idea. Our thinking is that the trio of the mortgage broker, the real estate agent and the title company, who was also the escrow holder for all transaction funds, were negligent enough that at least looking into legal outcomes is warranted. If we do get our money back, does it make sense to pursue some kind of settlement? The lifetime cost of this restructured loan is something like $7,000 to $10,000 more than the 20% down loan, so those appear to us to be the real damages. Plus, there is emotional trial and tribulation. Is that enough to go after them? I'm not 100% interested in actual litigation. I guess we are really only interested in a settlement. I know pain and suffering can be hard to prove. If we don't get our money back, I think we must go after them. As for the evidence, at no point in any of our interactions were we told of the possibility of wire fraud. All exchanges were over email, including sending documents with our home address, account numbers and signatures. Most of these were with the mortgage broker. The original wire instructions were sent from the title company to the mortgage broker, who sent them to us. It seems likely that the mortgage broker's email was the one that was hacked. The day of the fraudulent wire, I was communicating with the fraudulent email address of the broker and at one point switched to the real broker's email. The fraudster used a Gmail account made to look very similar to the broker's account and I did not catch it. When the real broker asked me to confirm that the wire had been sent, I responded, "I'm confused. You responded to my email an hour ago saying you had received it." I think this should have set off warning bells for him. To me it looked like he just was not paying attention and it annoyed me. In fact, he did not respond to this at all and he confirmed to me verbally that he did in fact receive this confused confirmation. Add to this, through the entire process of restructuring the loan and closing this past week, he continued to send me stuff like the closing disclosure over the same email account. I faxed everything. I also believe that our agent responded to the fraudulent email and said, "Looks good, nickname, thanks." I specifically asked the agent about this response and they denied sending it, but I'm not so sure that that is the truth. This response by the agent was one of the things that really validated the fraudulent email in my mind. Using the mortgage broker's nickname seems like something the agent would actually have done and not so much the fraudster. Given that the fraudsters seem to be only marginally literate in English, it seems unlikely that they would have picked up on the fact that the agent usually referred to the broker by their nickname. I hope this makes sense. Also at the closing, just before we realized what was going down, the title co-representative said, "I don't want to alarm anyone, but this is actually becoming very common." So that shows the title co-rep was aware of the issues and never warned us. Do we have a case either way? Thanks again for everyone's support and feedback. And guys, I'm curious, let us know in the comments, what was the most elaborate scam you have ever witnessed in real life? And by the way, if you have watched until here, please feel free to post some star emojis in the comments and also like the video if you would like to support me in these very difficult times. And the last one is the final update to the dupe to wire money for a home sale story. We closed on the house after paying 5% down 2 weeks ago. We moved in about 10 days ago and all was well. I had to pause checking in with the banks and law enforcement because I had some major projects at work in addition to the actual moving stuff. Plus, I listened to you all and just thought I would trust the process, as you indicated I could not really speed things along. So life happened and we moved. Fast forward to a week ago, Friday, I had reserved the morning call to call everyone and ask for updates. The FBI, county sheriff, my bank and the bank that received the wire and we thought was holding the money while investigating the fraud. A side note, I never heard from either law enforcement agency. Not once, other than the act of filing a report. Both the FBI and sheriff have yet to call me for any information, update or anything. I'm pretty disappointed. It is all the more crazy in light of what happens next. So Friday morning, my first calls were to FBI and sheriff. Nothing. FBI will call you back if they need more info. Left a message with the sheriff, also nothing. So I called the bank holding the money in the frozen bank account, Capital One. I get to the customer service of the fraud department and explain my situation. The lady on the phone asks for some verifying info, which was the first time they had asked that. I gave my phone number. She says, "That's not what I have on file." I tried another, no luck. She says, "Sir, we spoke to you this past Wednesday and you said you would be getting us some more information." I exploded because on Wednesday I was slammed with work. I never called them, so I flip out saying, "That was not me." And she says she will talk to my investigator. She's gone for a while, then gets back on the line and tells me that the investigator will be calling me straight away. The bank investigator calls. The first time I was spoken to anyone actually investigating anything, she asks me some specific questions, namely the amount of the wire, the originating bank name and account number. And then she drops the bombshell. I talked with someone on Wednesday who was screaming at me to give them their money, but I said I could not without confirmation of the info I just asked you for. And sir, while you were on the line just now with the customer service rep, I was speaking to the man again who was pretending to be you. My jaw hit the floor. The guy was still trying to get the money out of the account and was trying to do it at the same time I was. I nearly shit myself. Thank God for the security measures at the bank. I cannot believe that no one was actually on this. The money was held at Capital One, but no one had reached out to me for confirmation of the details. Clearly the feds and the sheriff had not done any work to get my money back. It was luck and a few security questions that saved me. 11 and a few days later, the wire was reversed. We elected to pay into 2016 IRAs as we had stopped doing so when we decided to move, paid off my last student loan, only a few thousand, repaid the loan from our parents for the 5% down and are sitting on the remaining 30k or so and will make a decision on what to do with that soon. Great to be able to give happy updates. We have settled into the new house, kids are happy, as always happy, and we are not broke, being sued or having to sue anyone. For those of you buying a home, always verbally confirm wiring instructions and remember that they will never change. If you receive updated wiring instructions, it is increasingly likely that it is an attempt to get you to wire your money somewhere else. Thanks to everyone for their help. And I gotta say guys, after reading these 3 legal advice posts, my heart goes out to anyone who has been scammed in such a way. To be honest, it's not the most difficult scam, but it is quite clever, and I suppose, I have no statistics for this, but as usual, these scammers are probably mainly targeting older people, which makes it of course even worse. And with that, we have reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's content, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel to join our amazing community. Furthermore, don't forget to go to r/ripestories on Reddit to post your own stories if you want me to read them out in a video. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I see you again tomorrow.